Howdy folks! No, your eyes aren't deceiving you, this is definitely not Barry. Neither is this what I've been up to today. I've actually had a long day at work. But Barry's in much the same position as you saw him yesterday, so there's not much point in showing him to you. The good news, however, is that tomorrow I have off, and I promise, I swear on all that is holy. I'm in my kitchen, what can I swear on? I swear on... This is my oath of the moment, guys. I swear on these toothbrushes I've purchased to de-paint minis that I will have Barry at least almost finished by the video tomorrow. Praise be to the Emperor. So, busy day at work today, didn't get anything done, but in the spirit of things, thought, why not show you a couple of minis? So, we've got a Chaos Cultist here, the only Chaos Cultist I've done from the Dark Vengeance box set, and then a Rat Ogre from the Skaven contingent of the Island of Blood box set. Probably worth pointing out, I just don't just buy minis from box sets, honestly. Just haven't. I looked at my cabinet, I want to show you some interesting minis. These are the first two I saw. So we'll look at the Cultist first, whilst I natter on at you incessantly. Yes, so tomorrow I'll be finishing Barry. I'll also be recording a couple of videos for the future, because on Saturday morning I'm off to a hippie wedding at a campsite somewhere far, far away from here, and unless it's a hippie campsite with a particularly adequate Wi-Fi connection and a workbench and minis, it's unlikely I'd be able to do an appropriate video that any of you would find even vaguely interesting. So I'm going to record one in advance. Actually, maybe even more than one, because I'm going to see some relatives after the hippie wedding, and I'm not sure if I'm brave enough to suddenly bust out some resin and start filing away whilst I'm talking to my nan about her hernia. So anyway, I'll be filming some videos for advance, so if there's even a risk of not being able to put a video up, don't worry, you'll still get some content off me. I can hear at least one person in the world breathing a slight sigh of relief there. So this Chaos Cultist, when I got the Dark Vengeance box set, I assembled one Cultist and one Dark Angel, painted both, and then went with the Dark Angels first. Totally arbitrary, can't even remember why. With the Cultist, I wanted to get kind of a Borderlands comic book vibe, which is why we've got the red, the green, the white, and actually I quite like it coming back to it. Yeah, I think this is pretty cool. I think if ever I decide to paint up my Chaos Cultists, there is a whole other one assembled, dun, 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 that's been assembled and coated for nearly as long as this guy's been painted, but not quite. I think I'd continue this on to kind of get that comic booky look. I think it'd look really quite cool, because Chaos Cultists, if you try and paint them, I think, this is my opinion, I think if you try and paint Chaos Cultists a bit too realistically, they come off like people going to a very certain type of bar, people with a very certain set of interests and relationships, and that's not the sort of thing I particularly want in my mini cabinet when my, relatives with their young children come round. Anyway, so that's Chaos Cultist. I'm sure there's other things I should be saying to you while showing you these minis, but let's look at the Rat Ogre. This mini I picked because it was one of the first ones I can ever remember finishing painting since I got back into the hobby. That's what I need to talk about, but since getting back into the hobby, one of the first miniatures I remember finishing and being really proud in terms of getting the highlights right, glazing those up. I had a little lamp left from the Moortime box set, which is down there, used some wood. I just felt really satisfied after doing this guy. Really over the top, really comic booky. But yeah, really loved doing him. The question is an interesting one today. I mean, I'm sure they are all interesting questions. Particularly interesting one today. How long was my hiatus from the hobby? Because it seems pretty much everyone in the world ever has had a hiatus from the hobby. Mine was about... I should have done the maths before. About 10 years. I have mentioned it in another video, I think fleetingly, but what basically happened was I was roughly 16, into the hobby, then got a girlfriend, and then I was into the hobby no more. A very different girlfriend, I was very young at the time, than my one now, but it just, that girlfriend and this hobby wouldn't have gone hand in hand, and at the time I was full of man hormones and much more interested in girlfriend and hobby, which I kind of regret. When I got back into the hobby, many years later, my painting skills were kaput, my collection was up in the attic, and actually finding that and getting to strip things like the Imperial Guard, it wasn't any great hardship, but it would be nice to have brought some more minis along the way. I love the hobby now. I find it very therapeutic. I think it's sort of like an art therapy for me, and it's really engrossing. And I like the YouTube community, which is one of the reasons I think I'm getting more and more in to the hobby as time goes. Thanks everyone for watching. So I'll see you tomorrow with Barry, probably complete. Fingers crossed. Praise be to the Emperor. Love you all. Bye.